How many of you, before you migrated to the United States, Canada, or England, were able to go to a supermarket in Jamaica and buy these items? Be honest to yourself. How many of you were able to do that? How many of you, the country that you were in, or the country that you were born in before you migrated to one of these first world countries, how many of you ever buy some of these items? How many of you have ever buy a gallon of oil before you come to America? I am one of them. The first time I eat jasmine rice and basmati rice is when I came to America, because I didn't know that such rice exists. The rice that I grew up in Jamaica is a rice that when you buy it, you make sure you have to sit down about 1 hour to pick out the rocks and the debris out of it. Or if you cook it, you're probably going to bite up on a stone and you're going to crack your teeth. Oh, I know it happened to me. Didn't pick the rice properly and cook it and bite up on one of those little black hard rock. You know what I'm talking about. Take a screenshot. I want those of you who don't believe me, let me back up. Take a screenshot of everything that you see, and I want you to go to the supermarket and check the prices of them. You see, so some of you go say it's cheaper to buy these items in Jamaica. Lie, some of you they tell. Which part in Jamaica you can spend $300 and get these stuff. Even when I factor in the price of the barrel, which is $50, to ship the barrel is another $150. That is $200. And then the items right here you're looking at is $300. You tell me which supermarket you can go in at anywhere in the world and get these items. You tell me. A lot of people in Jamaica, for them to go in the supermarket and buy this, they have to be getting a $1 million a year salary. Sometimes people use food as a way of discriminating against somebody else. I've seen it. I've been in Jamaica. I saw it. Growing up in Jamaica, I see how people use food, basic commodity, food, to discriminate against people because some people cannot afford certain stuff. Discriminating against people, using food to discriminate, using their cards that they have in the supermarket because it's overflowing with items. They use it as a form of discrimination or a form of status to say that I am better than you. But guess what? I dare some of you to come to America with that nonsense. I dare some of you to come to America with that nonsense. Come to America. I buy your ticket. I buy your ticket. Some of you that is doing that. You know, sometimes you go in the supermarket and sometimes you do it deliberately for sure say you got it. I dare you. Come to America, come do it. I buy your plane ticket and I will take you shopping to Sam's or to Walmart or Casco or any of one of them supermarkets. Bring all your money in Jamaica and come in America and I will take you shopping on first of the month and I will prove to you that you cannot outspend nobody. Even if you have 10 cards, nobody don't care about you. Some of you only can do that in poor countries. Some of you only can do that in third world countries. You cannot come to first world countries and do that nonsense. You know, high chest and stuck up self, pushing big cart in supermarket in name brand and saying that, oh, you pushing a cart and your husband pushing a cart and your son pushing a cart and your daughter pushing a cart and your baby in the trolley pushing a cart and your dog named Rex, big up yourself, Oliver, pushing a cart, and you know things say, yo, oh, you're going to be at the head of the line and everybody going to look at you. Dare you to try that when you come to the United States. I'll take you to one of the supermarket and I dare you. Nobody don't care about you. Put on all your name brand and push the biggest cart. Nobody don't care about you. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Manix Robinson TV. And I am back at it again. Blessed morning, blessed afternoon, blessed evening, blessed night, wheresoever that you are tuning into the channel. Much love and respect to all of you guys. Thanks for your continual love and support towards the channel. Big shout out to all my channel members. You guys know yourself. Bless up yourself. You know that your respect is large around here. So guys, this is what I want to talk about today. One of the reasons why a lot of people leave their countries or their islands to come to these so-called first world countries is in the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of opportunities that are not made available to them in their country for whatever reason may be, in which I'm not going to go down into. And the reason why some of these quote-unquote first world countries are even first world countries in the first place is because a lot of immigrants leave their countries or their islands, come to these countries and build them up and cause them to become great. And some people may look at it differently, but that is how I look at it. Some people may have their different opinions, but it is what it is. You know, everybody reserve their right to their opinion. A lot of us in our countries or in our island, based off the minimum wage that we are working or the salary that some of us are earning, you know, not everybody will be able to have a livable wage, if I can say it like that, a wage that they can live on properly. Not everybody will do that in their country. But in America, you can live a meaningful life. And when I say a meaningful life, you can go in the supermarket and pick up the same food that a rich person can pick up. You cannot do that in every country. In America, you can do that. And a lot of people may say, boy, Manix, I don't believe that. Guys, be honest. When you were back home in your country, before you migrated to America, Canada, or England, certain stuff that you're now buying in these supermarkets, could you buy it in the country that you migrated from? Could you afford it? How many of you could take your minimum wage and go in the supermarket and really buy the items that you really want? How many of you? Whether you in America, whether you getting, you know, minimum wage, or you getting food stamp, or you are in the middle class, or the 1%, anybody can go in a supermarket and buy the same food. You cannot use food to discriminate against one another in America. I remember the other day I went to a supermarket in Jamaica, guys. And some of you can understand what I'm saying. The truthers or the honest ones can understand what I'm saying. The other day I went down into a supermarket in Jamaica and I saw a lady pick up a 6-pack of Ensure. It was an elderly lady. And she put it back because I guess it was too expensive. She couldn't buy it. So a 6-pack of Ensure, the lady put it back. Now, in America, you can get your minimum wage salary and you can buy a 6-pack. You probably can buy a case. People use the size of their cart like as a discrimination tactics to tell another customer, say, yo, I am living better than you because I can push a bigger cart. And some of you understand what I'm saying. You probably went into the supermarket and you have $10,000 and $10,000 can hardly buy anything in Jamaica anymore. You know, you buy a gallon of milk, a carton of egg, a bread, you know, some cereal, some butter, some oil, and probably money finish. You can't even go down into the market to buy some vegetable. You see it? So you go in the supermarket, you know, you pick up one of the liquor baskets, them, you know, you carry by your hand. You see a family, each one of them pushing a cart. How do you feel when you see that? You tell me, you go in the supermarket in Jamaica right now, you take your kids with you in the supermarket. They ask you to buy them a sugar bun or an ice cream or probably a Capri Sun. And you said to them, say that you cannot afford it. And then when they look, they see a family pushing 4 carts and probably they see one of the little child holding a whole case of Capri Sun. How do you feel about that? How do you feel when you see your child looking at that to see how one set of family can be pushing 4 carts when you only carrying a basket? No, in America it's not like that. You cannot use food to discriminate in America. In Jamaica they do that. It's not just Jamaica alone. In a lot of countries they use food to discriminate, use it as a status quo to say that I am living a better life than you. You cannot afford this, I can afford it. I see people do it. I see people do it, lifting up their nose when somebody come behind them with a basket. They look down on them as if, what are you doing behind me with a basket? Don't you see me got my carts overflowing with expensive commodities? It happened, guys. I seen it with my own eyes. And I said to myself, wow, this is how bad it is. You come to some of those same people, they only can do that in Jamaica. I dare some of those same people come to America and try that. You can only brag off on poor people in Jamaica because if you come to America, it's the poor people that push the biggest carts, especially on first of the month. First of the month, you dare not go to supermarket because you ain't gonna get nothing off the shelf. You gonna be in line with people getting food stamp, people getting their social security or whatever. So some of you can only do that in countries like that where the living standard is not really balanced off when it comes on to food. I dare you, come to America with that type of nonsense. Nobody ain't gonna see you. I dare you. I dare you. Come up especially into Jersey, where we don't pay tax and food. And I will take you to Sam's and I will take you to ShopRite and Walmart and first of the month. And you see how fast you disappear within the crowd because your so-called cart of food is nothing compared to those that are collecting food stamp and those that are collecting their check every first of the month. Some of you only can do that in third world countries, and when you come to these first world countries, nobody don't see you. Nobody don't see you. Nobody don't even care about you when you're in the supermarket, you're trying to push a big car. Nobody don't see you. Probably when you're in the United States, you're pushing a big car. People look at you and say, yes, there go another one collecting food stamp. Yeah, there go one of them living in Section 8. That is how some people look at people in America that is pushing a big car. So when you're in Jamaica and you're in the supermarket and you see a little man with his little basket and you are using your cart or your carts that is overflowing with items and you're using it as a status quo or a type of society class to discriminate against your fellow human being. And some of you know that, and that's why some of you say that you don't even want to overbrag because you cannot come overbrag and brag off on nobody. A person that is getting minimum wage, getting probably $800 a week, they can go and take out the most expensive as a vehicle and then pay a fee. They don't care. Even if they run up in a debt, they don't care. You see, in poor countries and third world countries, they can't come to America, come brag off on people in name brand. Some of you know yourself. You know yourself. Some of you know yourself. Some of you know yourself. You go in the supermarket and you brag off on your own family. You brag off on your friends. You brag off on people because you can push a big card. I dare you, come to America and do that. Come to America and do that. You're going to look like a stupid. Come to America and do that. You see, come to America, come try to brag off on somebody in America because you go in the supermarket and you're pushing a big card. People that is getting people that is getting food stamp can push a bigger cart than you. Those guys are the ones that push the biggest cart in America on the first of the month. Some of you fellow Jamaicans, you overseas, you know what I'm saying is the truth. Some of those people push the biggest cart the first of the month. You can go out at supermarket on the first of the month. And this is the reason, as I say, why a lot of us, including myself, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite, what we could not do in the country that we came from, we are able to do it in the country that we are now residing. Enough of you can attest to that also. You know, some of you probably came from Jamaica, came from Africa, came from some of the Caribbean islands. And, you know, while you were there, you probably never push a full cart in Jamaica. And the first time you push a cart overflowing with items is when you migrated, is when you went to Canada, England, or when you came to America. Probably that's the first time you push a cart that is laden with items. Some of you know what I'm saying is the truth. You usually go to supermarket and you usually have to pinch the dollars because you just get the money and you say, boss, you can't hardly buy what you want. You have to limit your spending power. But when you touch the plane and you came overseas, you realize, say, yo, I saw Wednesday, you are able to buy the stuff that you couldn't afford one time in your country. Oh, I know, I was in that same situation. Guess what? We're going to show you something, guys. We're going to show you something. We're going to show you. This is $300 worth of items in the truck. And yeah, let me just put it out there. I didn't buy these items with food stamp because I am a hard-working Jamaican. Hard-working Jamaican living in America. We don't depend upon the government. We work for what we want. Even though there's nothing wrong with when the government, they give you help. It's not everybody in the middle income bracket or the 1% bracket, you know. Some people are being held up by the government safety net. $300 worth of items, this, you see? $300. Look at it. How many of you, before you migrated to the United States, Canada, or England, how many of you were able to go to a supermarket and buy these items? Be honest to yourself. How many of you were able to do that? How many of you, the country that you were in, or the country that you were born in before you migrated, how many of you ever buy some of these items? How many of you did it? Look at this. Guys, look at this. You know how much I pay for this 24 pack of Ensure? $29. And I got 2 of them because they're on sale right now. And I buy them a gallon of oil. How much for a gallon of Watson cooking oil? How many of you have ever buy a gallon of oil before you come to America? How many of you? The first time you eat jasmine rice when you come to America? Well, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I am one of them. The first time I eat jasmine rice and basmati rice is when I came to America because I didn't know that such rice exists. The rice that I grew up in Jamaica is a rice that when you buy it, you make sure you have to sit down about 1 hour to pick out the rocks and the debris out of it. Or if you cook it, you're probably going to bite up on a stone and you're going to crack your teeth. Oh, I know it happened to me. Didn't pick the rice properly and cook it and bite up on one of those little black hard rock. You know what I'm talking about. You see it? You look on it. This right here is olive oil. How many of you never buy olive oil in Jamaica? Since you migrated, you were able to buy olive oil and even send it down to give your relatives in Jamaica. Some of you are now at the place to let your families back home in your countries enjoying stuff that you yourself, when you was in your country, weren't enjoying. You see it? You know, some of us, we forget where we're coming from, but a lot of us right now, we are in the position to purchase items in the United States, to go to our family back home in our country that we came from, and let them, you know, get the experience of what it's like. And I know you got some of you out there gonna say, well, it's cheaper to buy certain products in Jamaica. I lie you they tell. Take a screenshot. I want those of you who don't believe me, let me back up. Take a screenshot of everything that you see, and I want you to go to the supermarket and check the prices of them. You see it, so some of you go say, well, it's cheaper to buy these items in Jamaica. Lie, some of you they tell you. Even when I factor in the price of the barrel, which is $50, to ship the barrel is another $150. That is $200. And then the items right here you're looking at is $300. You tell me which supermarket you can go in anywhere in the world and get these items for $500. You tell me. You guys tell me. As I said, I'm keeping the phone steady so that you can take a screenshot. And I want you to go check your supermarket. You know, especially, you know, my critics down there in Jamaica, that anytime I talk about packing a barrel, you guys say that it's cheaper to buy items in Jamaica. And I'm not talking about the knockoff stuff that China is bringing in Jamaica. Those are not the items I'm talking about. So if those are the cheap items, the cheap knockoff goods, you know, that you're talking about, those are not the items I'm talking about. I'm talking about these. A lot of us never eat basmati or jasmine rice until we migrated. So a lot of us, when we migrated, we are able to do certain stuff. And you don't have to be rich to do this, guys. You don't. A lot of people in Jamaica, for them to go in the supermarket and buy this, they have to be getting a $1 million a year salary. You see it? Which individual in Jamaica working minimum wage can go in a supermarket and pick up a gallon of oil, a Old Spice, a Crest toothpaste, a Almond Breeze, almond milk, a Gatorade, a Listerine, a sardine, a tuna, a peanut butter, a ketchup, balsamic vinegar, a olive, a big bottle of honey like this. Who getting minimum wage can go in a supermarket and buy that out of their salary? They cannot do it. And it's not only Jamaica alone, it's a lot of countries. So some of my critics saying, boy, it's cheaper you do it in Jamaica. Lie, you know I tell. You guys, that lie you guys tell. As we say, take a screenshot and go in the supermarket and check out the price. The reason why a lot of us leave our third world countries is in the pursuit of a better life and better opportunities which is not available or weren't available or wasn't available in the country or the islands that we came from. You see it? And, you know, regardless what it is, you know, and some people may say that, oh, you should have stayed in your country and make your country better. Well, guess what? To all of us, to all of the born Americans or born Canadians or born British, why didn't your ancestors stay in their country and made their country better? Why did they came to America or Canada or England? They should have stayed in their country and made their country better. You see it? As long as the door is open for migrants to come to this country in pursuing their dream or to seek a better way of life or seek better opportunities, they're gonna do it, because that is why you are now a citizen in one of these countries, because your ancestors did the same thing. Growing up in Jamaica, I see how people use food, basic commodity, food, to discriminate against people because some people cannot afford certain stuff. Discriminating against people, using food to discriminate, using their cards that they have in the supermarket because it's overflowing with items. They use it as a form of discrimination or a form of status to say that I am better than you. But guess what? I dare some of you to come to America with that nonsense. I dare some of you to come to America with that nonsense. Come to America. I buy your ticket. I buy your ticket. Some of you that is doing that. You know, some of you know yourself. You're guilty. You know yourself. You know sometimes you go in the supermarket and sometimes you do it deliberately for sure say you got it. I dare you. Come to America, come do it. I buy your plane ticket and I will take you shopping to Sam's or to Walmart or Casco or any of one of them supermarkets on first of the month, and I will prove to you that you cannot outspend nobody. Some of you only can do that in poor countries. Some of you only can do that in third world countries. You cannot come to first world countries and do that nonsense. You're gonna, high chest and stock up self, pushing big cart in supermarket in name brand and saying that, oh, you pushing a cart and your husband pushing a cart and your son pushing a cart and your daughter pushing a cart and your baby in the trolley pushing a cart and your dog named Rex, big up yourself, Oliver, pushing a cart, and you know things say, yo, oh, you're going to be at the head of the line and everybody going to look at you. Dare you to try that when you come to the United States. Nobody don't care about you. Put on all your name brand and push the biggest cart. Nobody don't care about you. Nobody don't busy about you. You think somebody don't look on you and see you got money? The first thing that they're watching to see if you're going to pull out your food stamp card. That's what they're waiting on. You could have on Louis Vuitton and all your name brand. You know what they're waiting on? To see if a food stamp you're going to use pay for that cart of stuff. Some of my American viewers, you seen it at first of the month. You want to hurry up, go home, and when you look, one family line up, and when you look at them RBT card, that's what them call them, food stamp card or them food stamp check, then take out the pay for items. You see it? And they hold up the line because some of them probably go pick up on rotisserie chicken, and because food stamp no cover, prepare food, them have to try figure it out. Some of you know what I'm talking about. I dare some of you to come to America and try that. Go in some supermarket. And some of you probably tried it and you see it for yourself. So nobody not even see you. People not even see you. People not even realize that you exist. Yeah, some of you did it. Come to America, Canada, England, and you say, oh, you're going to supermarket shopping to, you want to prove to the American shoppers, or you want to prove to the Canadian shoppers, or you want to prove to the, the Britons that, oh, I'm a Jamaican and I got money and I'm a African and I'm from the Caribbean and, I'm from one of these third world countries and, where I'm from, I am well off and I got it. People look up to me when I go out in the street. And you step out, and when you step out, oh, you just step out amongst people can't identify you because what you are doing, everybody's doing it. When you go to Sam's, people in a Sam's pushing flatbed with food items. Never seen in Jamaica people that put flatbed, but in America, people are coming out of Sam's pushing a flatbed. If you get the opportunity to travel, travel. And I will encourage all of my Jamaicans, try get your visa for travel. And come see what it look like on the other side. Try and get a visa and travel. And then when you see it for yourself, if you want, say, all right, and you compare. You see it. And you will see for yourself, say, the way how you see some people they act in our poor country where we come from, they cannot act like that in these big countries. Nobody don't see them. Nobody don't see them. Stepping out in your name brand and your so-called expensive car. Man working minimum wage can drive an expensive car in America. And go take it out and pay every paycheck. You see it? 350. A car dealer was announcing that, yo, you put 350 down and 350 every paycheck. And you can't have your car. 350. You see it? But, guys, as I said, a lot of people come to this country in the pursuit of a better way of life. And, a lot of us have achieved it. And a lot of us, after achieving it, we also taking care of our loved ones behind who cannot afford the basic needs in their country. And some of you know you're taking care of your families back home and you're doing your utmost best to let their life comfortable because you were able to make your life comfortable in the country that you're residing in right now. And because of that, you're able to be able to make your family back home life comfortable also. Thumbs up to you, man. Keep up the good work. A lot of us migrated and we come to these countries and we make it better for ourselves. But a lot of us, stuff that we weren't able to do in our countries, in our highlands, we are now able to do it in the countries that we now reside in. You see it? And don't let nobody tell you, say, oh, go back to your country and build your country. Tell them to go back to their country that their ancestors came from. If you still was in your country, you wouldn't be able to live this type of life that you're now living. All right? Bless up yourself, guys. And the next time you go shopping, just remember somebody back home in your country. Remember where you're coming from. Don't use the better life that you have attained to use it to discriminate. Can't use food and they discriminate or use it to belittle or to demean people. Let us not do that, guys. Because what we eat, we pass it out. You see it? Alright? Bless up yourself, guys. Thanks for tuning to Manish Robinson TV. If you love the video, thumbs up, leave a comment. Let me hear what you think. Bless up yourself, guys. You have yourself a tremendous one. Until I see you again on the next video, I'll meet you in the comment section. Bye-bye. Be blessed.